He was a fast-rising hip-life music star with his song Opedodo, still enjoying massive airplay on radio stations. But that will last for a short time as the 2013 accident brought all of that to a halt. In our Arrive Alive campaign to stop crashes on Ghana's roads, we bring you the story of Isaac Okine, popularly known as Yaw Siki, who has now abandoned his hip-life music career and preaches the word of God at lorry stations and churches as a fulfillment of his promise to God for saving his life. He says, but for the Supreme Being and his seatbelt, he would have been dead. Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
Yaw Siki describes this as his breakthrough song in the Ghanaian music industry. It was a hit song back in 2011. It is a busy day at the Michelle Camp bus terminal in Tema. Yaw Siki is evangelizing in a white Sprinter. This has been his routine after he recovered from the crash on the motorway 7 years ago. It was around 12 a.m. on the 14th April 2013. Yaw Siki was returning home from a meeting with a friend. Once he strapped his seat belt, he dozed off. He says he heard his friend complaining about a taxi driver who was dangerously overtaking him on the motorway.
And so later I asked my friend what happened, and he said he was speeding on the motorway, and a taxi driver came from behind and overtook him. You know? So in the process of swerving, he lost control, and the car got off the road, somersaulted like 3 times and landed on its head like that. Yes, doctor said that whilst I was in the car upside down like that in seat belts with head injuries and arm injuries and bleeding, one of my neck bones had broken, and the broken neck bone was 1 inch away from my respiratory system, my neck here, and if I had pressed on it, I would have lost my breath in seconds. You know, so 1 inch away from death, God gave me a second chance. Came back for my next checkup. Doctor now said that the bone is shifting, and it's shifting towards my brain vein, the vein connecting my brain to my spinal cord, and if it touches it, it will paralyze me.
He had never read the Bible, but one day in his room, a voice directed him to read Psalm 103 verse 3. That, he says, was the beginning of his transformation journey and his promise to God that he will forever serve him if he is healed.
I was home and praying, Lord, heal me. If you heal me, I won't go back. If you give me a miracle, I will be a testimony for you. I'll do your will. That which you want me to do is what I'll do. So I was praying like that. And then one Sunday, I woke up from my sleep and I was about sitting up on my bed. And then suddenly it dropped in my spirit, read Psalms. So I picked up the Bible, and when I opened the Bible, it came to the right side of my ear, my right ear. It came to me 103 verse 3. So that I checked Psalm 103 verse 3, and it says, "Who forgives all your iniquities, who heals all your diseases." And I was like, wow. My brother said there was this prophet coming to their church, so they want to convey me there. So they carefully conveyed me to the church, and there was an anointing service, and the prophet called for us to come to the front and worship together. And by faith, I also rose and went there and were worshiping. For the first time, the presence of God was all over. I felt it, and I became so heavy, and I fell for the first time. You're healed. So I called my doctor. This is what happened at church today. I want to come for a checkup. And he said, come the following day. It was a Monday. I went. He took the first x-ray. He couldn't talk. He didn't say anything for like 30 minutes. He wrote another request. I went. I brought it. It was an x-ray, bigger scan. He took me to his office and stayed it. And then he said, this is complex. Let us stop the operation. No need to go back home. No need to do the operation again. Go back home. I asked him, is he healed? He said, yeah, you're okay. He couldn't explain further. He just told me this is complex. You know, so let us stop the operation. And then he started asking me about church and God.
Yaw Siki believes he was saved by God and his seatbelt. He is also urging drivers to be cautious on the roads.
Yeah, the seatbelt helped. The seatbelt helped. My friend also would have been hurt, you know, but because of the seatbelt, if I wasn't in seatbelt, I would have gone out of the car or I would have died. I would have died, yeah.
Certainly a miraculous story, but the seatbelt certainly played a role. So why don't you put on your seatbelt whilst you're on the road so you can arrive alive?